Kalamacri, and you're listening to Dispatch Radio.
Well, it's hard to believe it's already been 30 years, and a man named Paul Reubens splashed onto the scene as Pee Wee Herman. In fact, I've challenged some people may not even know what his real name is, and made a director out of Tim Burton, of all people. Started 30 years ago, August 19, 1985. We have one of the co-stars with us, E.G. Daily, talk about her role in the film, and Dottie as herself. E.G. Daily, how are you?
I'm doing super well, thanks. How about you?
I'm very blessed. It's great to have you with us again. I know we talked to you last time. We were talking mostly about the Powerpuff Girls and the anniversary. Yeah, all the different voices. I kind of think, man, Pee Wee Herman, 30 years. Has it really been 30 years already?
Don't talk to me about that. I don't know. I don't know time. It's just so crazy to think 30 years is so crazy. But yeah, I guess it's been 30 years. That's what they tell me.
Did you guys have a special get-together, or did they do a special screening or anything to bring in 30?
Yeah, they did. They have a thing called the Synestia in Hollywood. It's where they screen the movie on this mausoleum wall in the Hollywood Cemetery, and there's probably like almost 5,000 people picnicking in the cemetery. Like literally, it looks like Woodstock, and they screened it there. And Paul Reubens and I got up, and a couple of the other cast members. And said hi to the audience, and it was really pretty phenomenal night.
Is it cool catching up with Paul so many years later?
I keep in touch with him, so it's not like we're just catching up. We stay in touch a lot, he and I, and we stay in touch. He's my buddy.
It's got to be a pretty cool thing to have on your resume. That this really is timeless, kind of a cult classic. I'm not sure cult is the right word, but that's the word I'm going to use right now. And people haven't forgotten, though, right? I mean, people still recognize you as Dottie?
Yeah, which is so crazy. It's been 30 years. It is crazy.
That's got to be.
Yeah, and it is a cult. It is a cult classic, which I'm super proud to say. It's pretty awesome.
It was such an impactful film at the time. Obviously, it launched Tim Burton's career and sent him on a whole menagerie of opportunities and stuff that followed. Pee-wee, of course, becomes a household name with a TV show and spin-off movies and all that. And, you look back and it's just got to be mind-blowing to know that you were at least part of that.
Unbelievable. I mean, for me, like, I went in doing it for just the fun. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I just did Dottie and then came out and, didn't think about it. And then the movie came out at this massive premiere. And then the next thing you know, it's 30 years later and it's so monumental to people. It's monumental, so crazy.
I had a chance the first time I met Tim Burton was on the set of Edward Scissorhands. And he seemed so kind of a quiet demeanor, and he just had such a different, definitely not a Hollywood personality. What was it like working for him, and what was he like on set?
Well, like I said, it was one of his first big projects. That was when he was he had been doing a lot of artistic pieces, but he hadn't been broken open like he is now. But he is like a mastermind genius, mad scientist, very, very meticulous about what he wanted. And I just think he was you could see then that he was very particular and very genius, like a mad scientist, just genius.
Fantastic. Well, I want to transition quickly. I know we're on the clock. I want to be able to squeeze in a ton of stuff. And I know right now you've definitely moved into a different passion of yours. You've always been a singer, always pursued music, and obviously you kind of broke out with an appearance on season 5 of The Voice and had a chance to really make a name for yourself there. And I know you're also going to be getting a great opportunity to perform live at the Hollywood's Whiskey A Go-Go in November. So it's got to be exhilarating, right, to move in that kind of direction as well.
Pretty cool, yeah. I mean, that just sort of came about because I got some random reach out from someone on my Twitter private messages, and it was the Whiskey saying, we really want you to headline the Whiskey again, because I had played the Strip when I was 15, that whole Sunset Strip I played. And so, for me, it was kind of an honor that they asked for me to come back there, and I thought, you know what, it kind of ties in perfect with, the Pee-wee's Big Adventure anniversary, and it ties in perfect with the Devil's Rejects 10-year anniversary, and it ties in perfect with October. This weekend is the anniversary for Better Off Dead's 30th anniversary, and they're having a huge screening at the Egyptian Theater in Hollywood with Press Line, and they're Q&A prior to the movie. So I just thought it felt really right to go ahead and do the whiskey and do all my dance hits, like Say It Might Never Matter from the different soundtracks, summer school soundtracks, and then do like title tracks from all my previous albums, and then all the way up to some current music that I'm doing now, and just have a bunch of great musicians and a killer audience. And I don't know, it just seemed really fun. People are buying tickets already, and it's 2 months out. You know, so I'm telling people, if you want to go to the whiskey show, which will be pretty iconic and fun, and I'm going to do like a couple jingles, like maybe my friend's jingle from the Smelly Cat song, and maybe some Rugrats thing or some Powerpuff thing, but they should definitely come check it out. It's going to be super fun.
It is definitely just a great body of work to pull from, and I know that she made a big splash with The Voice, and that's got to be another one of those arenas that with just the massive fan base, you got to have a ton of people that are recognizing you from that show as well.
Do you say Better Off Dead?
Well, do you think people recognize you from Better Off Dead, or I was referring to The Voice actually?
Oh no. Oh yeah, no, I wasn't. Oh my God, yeah, The Voice was a really big, a huge exposure for me. I mean, that show it's like one of the number one shows, and it gets watched by, I don't know, over 50 million viewers. It's like, so that show definitely made it to where like I never know what people are going to recognize me from, but a lot of people recognize me from The Voice, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
The Voice was capturing something that I've loved to do my whole life, which is the singing.
Sure.
You know, I love that I do voices, and I love that I do characters in different movies. But singing was really like topped it all off for me. Was like, you know, the singing thing is just so fun.
You know, you were able to work with Blake Shelton on the show. Did he have a certain piece of wisdom or advice that he gave you that you could share with us?
I mean, his whole thing was just making sure that I was consistent. Like when I sang something, that I was able to really be consistent with it, and not, sometimes I just like will fly off and you never know what I'm going to do. And so I remember that was a really good note, because I'm kind of like that in person. I'm sort of a free spirit, and I just go everywhere all the time. I'm just like all over the place, and sometimes there's more power when you focus a little more. And some things I'm able to focus really well on. It's just sometimes when I'm singing, I just kind of close my eyes and go, just go. So his note to me was be specific. So when you do that thing, it's phenomenal each time, and you're not changing it all each time.
We're talking with E.G. Daily, and obviously we're celebrating Pee-wee's Big Adventures 30th anniversary of Better Off Dead, and just a ton of great work opportunities for her. Obviously, she's talking about the show, upcoming show with the whiskey, and you mentioned Smelly Cat. I mean, obviously people are going to recognize you from these different things, but then I sneak in a little reference. You kind of beat me to it because I had it on my roll to ask. Pull back the curtain a little bit about the origins of Smelly Cat and how that came to be on Friends.
What came to be on Friends? Just my experience on Friends, or
that in the song itself.
Well, that was just honestly, I at the time I did Friends, I literally just had a baby, which was like days old, and I remember I got a call from my agent saying they need you to rush over to the studio and audition for Friends, and it was maybe like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and I was like, what? So I literally walked in the studio with a bassinet in one hand and a guitar case in the other. Bassinet with a baby and a guitar case. And because it was so late at night, it was sort of last unexpected, so I couldn't get a babysitter. And then I had to go in and do the scene because apparently they'd hired someone first, and then they had to let her go because I guess she wasn't quite what they wanted. And I had to go audition suddenly. And so I just walked in there, and then I sang a song for them and then read the scene. And so they just want to make sure I could sing and play guitar. And that was it. It was like the next thing I'm on the set, and the next thing they're teaching me the Smelly Cat song, and I'm doing that brilliant subject matter, which everybody seems to love about the Smelly Cat stuff. It's pretty awesome.
It sounds like we have an album title coming, like a baby and a guitar case.
I know, right? It's so bizarre, right?
The bizarre songs from E.G. Daily, and it's just all this menagerie of stuff over the years. Start doing songs and all your voices, throw them all together, just throw it out there as this weird type cultish disc that people from the 80s will just love and eat up.
It's so funny. It's really funny. Yeah, it's so funny. I know, right? It's so weird. It's just so weird.
It's such a roller coaster ride. It's such a roller coaster ride for you.
Yeah, a baby in a bassinet and the guitar case in the right hand. So
there you go. That's
right
great. All these little different things from your resume.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy ride. Amazing ride.
Well, I got to plug one more thing, because I know you got a chance to go to you've been invited. You're going to be part of the Rhode Island Comic-Con, as far as I know, in November. And it's got to be really kind of cool to still be able to do the Comic-Con circuit from time to time, kind of get touch base with people face-to-face and that kind of thing. Is it still really cool to have them come up with all of these weird different things?
Okay, so wait. To come up with different things as far as, like, you're saying what? You're saying at the Comic-Con?
Oh, they got to come up to you with, like, hey, it's a picture of this, it's a picture of that. It's like, can you sign this? Can you sign that?
Yeah, exactly, because I never know what the heck they're going to bring me. Sometimes it's like some random toy, like some random toy that I did years ago that you squeeze the little hand in my, my voice comes out of it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never even seen that toy, because sometimes you'll do toys or you'll do merchandise, and you don't know, you never see it or hear of it, and then some person will walk up to you at a con, or they'll bring you some random picture of yourself that you didn't even know you took. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. I love it. It's like super fun.
And it is, folks. It is the craziest of stuff. I remember I was interviewing John Schneider, and somebody interrupted us to hand him a metal Dukes of Hazzard lunchbox, and he actually looked at him like, "Are you sure you want me to sign this? It might be worth less if I sign it." I just started laughing. But people have all sorts of crazy fetishes and things they're into, and with the kind of stuff that you've been into with the Powerpuff, and obviously Pee-wee and all that, you got just so many different things. We're not even talking about all the other animated voices. We don't even have time to get into all that kind of stuff. So crazy.
No, it's crazy, but it's so fun now because, it's so interesting to hear what people even want to talk about regarding my work, because it's so vast that the memories that come to me are so fun. It's like, it's so vast. Like, we want to talk about doing the theme song for 2.5 Men, or you want to talk about me being in the first Rod Stewart, one of those first videos that was made, the Young Turks video. I had to give birth to a 10-pound baby boy in that video when I was like 17 or 18. It's like I never know what people are going to talk about, and sometimes they'll go, "Oh, I didn't know you sang on a Phil Oakey record." I'm like, I forgot I did that. It's just so fun. It's just so fun and so vast, and it just makes for like a really interesting big pot of stew in a vast ocean. It's so crazy.
Yeah, if I had like one of those dream jobs, I need to get one of those where I can do my own version of like Actor Studio, and have someone like you on where we can just like go through and hold up pictures and all these different things and just like lay on record, like document this incredible resume of all these crazy things. People that know you from The Voice are going to be like, I didn't know she did all of this. I didn't know she did all of that. It'll be fantastic. Right? That's what we have to do.
Yeah, well, you've got to make that happen then.
Yeah, I know. I got to talk to the right people, I guess. E.G. Daily, it has been such a pleasure and such a treat to get a chance to talk to you again, and we'll put a link there so people you can get tickets to, obviously, the whiskey, because the Rhode Island Comic-Con's coming up. If you're listening to us online, you can participate in these kind of things. Get those tickets, man.
Yeah, get those tickets. Come see me in Rhode Island if you're over in Providence. And then we are doing a voiceover. I'm doing one night in Boston. It's a voiceover workshop with myself and Debbie Derryberry. We're flying from we're driving from Providence to Boston to do a special one night course for 3 hours. So if anybody happens to live in Boston, I guess I'll put something up on Twitter and Facebook, where you can get tickets to come to that class. That'd be fun too.
She might also have some information that you can definitely touch base with her through egdaily.com. She's got all the different social media links there. You can see the Twitter feed and that kind of thing. So we'll link to that as well. So thank you again for fitting us in. We got to keep talking regularly. This is good stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, come find me on Twitter too, @RealEGDaily. Follow me. All right, thanks, sweetie. Thanks so much.